Today we're going to be working full body on the Pilates spine corrector. So we're going to come stand in front of it and slowly sit down, squatting down onto the seat and sit up tall through the spine. Inhale through the nose to prepare, and on the exhale we're going to round the back over the barrel, releasing the neck and reaching the arms back beyond the head as much as you can. Tuck the chin to chest and roll forward one vertebrae at a time, finally stacking up tall on top of the spine corrector. Rolling over again, lengthening out and rolling forward. Making sure that we're lifting up out of the hips and stacking up tall at the top. We're using the exhalation as we round back over the barrel. Inhale as you stretch and reach away, and exhale as you tuck the chin to chest and round forward, stacking up tall. Continue right here. We want to make sure that we're not rushing through this motion, but that we are rolling back with control and rolling forward with control. So we're not using momentum. We're going nice and slow, thinking about articulating through the spine, rolling back one vertebrae at a time and lifting forward one vertebrae at a time, lifting up nice and tall at the top. This is our last one going forward right here. We're going to stack up nice and tall and then get into the obliques. So we're going to twist the arms off to the right, and then we're going to roll back here. Lengthen the arms up above, and then tuck to the chin to the chest, and go ahead and stack and lift up forward. And then we'll twist off to the left. So we're going to alternate each time. When we twist the arms, we want to make sure that we keep the toes and the knees facing forward, and that twist is only happening through the torso. Lift the arms up overhead, and right here we're going to twist off to the side and roll back. So you can keep your arms extended, or you can add in a little bit more challenge by placing the hands behind the head and keeping the elbows wide. Right here we're going to stay on one side, and we're going to lift up and then roll back down. So we're working through that right side. And again, you can have the arms reached out in front or keeping them behind the head. Really working through that core and particularly getting into the side body here. Now twist off to the left, and we'll do the same thing, remaining on the left-hand side. Think about that left elbow dipping down, lower than the right as you roll back, and then rolling up through that side body nice and tall. Lift up nice and tall, and now we're switching things up again. So we're going to cross over, take that left elbow to the right knee, tuck it forward, and then roll back so we're facing that right hand side. And then we'll roll forward, bring the elbow to the knee. Now switch sides, right elbow to left knee, roll down, and then coming back up. So rather than sitting up nice and tall, we're going into that crunched forward position. Thinking about the crisscross here as we tuck the elbow towards the knee and then crossing over to the other side. You can get a much deeper feeling of crunching in the side body if you have a further twist and you're thinking about taking your elbow to the outside of your knee rather than coming to the inside of your knee. Each time we're alternating elbow to knee and then round back through the side. Roll forward, bringing the elbow to the knee and switching sides. Last one right here, and lifting up tall through the spine. Now we're going to round back to bring the shoulder blades over top of the barrel and float one leg up into tabletop one at a time, and we're going to go into a crisscross here with the legs in tabletop position. So we're keeping those elbows wide, hands behind the head, and we're crossing opposite elbow to the outside of opposite knee. Now we're going to tap down the right leg, and we're going to take the right elbow beyond the left leg. So we're stabilizing through the right on the floor and just focusing into that left hand side as we cross over. Remember to exhale with each exertion. Now we're switching the legs, just scissor switch in the air, and we're taking the left elbow to the outside of the right knee, while that left leg stabilizes on the floor. Now hold the upper body, and we're going to scissor switch the legs right here. So we're tapping one foot down as the other lifts up into a tabletop position, and we're just securing through our core. Both feet coming down to the floor. We're going to reach and extend the upper body over the barrel and come into the chest lift, really getting into the rectus abdominis at the top. We're thinking about keeping the elbows wide and supporting the head without tugging on the neck as we lift and peel up head, neck, and shoulders, gaze coming forward towards the legs. Final one right here, and we're going to go ahead and place the hands onto the barrel, sit up, scoot the seat back towards your barrel, and right here we're going to roll back to the mid back on the barrel, and then we're going to crunch forward, thinking about taking the fingertips to the outside of the ankles. So we want to make sure beforehand our bums were scooted out from the barrel quite a bit. Now we're right up against it. So as we roll back, it's really just our mid back that's coming over the barrel. And we're focusing on crunching forward towards the feet and leaning over the legs. We're maintaining a round back here as we come forward, curving forward, and then rolling back. Next, we're going to lift up and we're going to scoot our glutes away from the barrel, again as we were at the beginning, and then roll back over top. Hands come up behind the head, and we're going to lift the legs in a tabletop and go into the crisscross right here. So our shoulder blades are just off of the barrel, and this is really a different feeling of the crisscross than it would be on the mat, but the principles are the same. We're going to take that elbow and think about reaching out beyond the opposite leg. Bringing the legs in and floating them back down towards the mat. We'll go ahead and sit forward here. Now we're turning to the side and extending the left leg out, and we're going to go into a side over. So we're going to roll the upper body down, and then we're going to lift it off of the barrel. Just small lifts right here. We've got our inside leg crossed in front on the seat, and the outside leg is reaching out. We're thinking about keeping shoulder stacked over shoulder, hip over hip, as we lift up and really dig into those obliques to lift the body and peel it up and away from the barrel. You may find that they start very small, a very small lift and peel away, and then over time it starts to increase and you're able to lift a bit further. Exhale with each lift and inhale as you fold back over. Now we're going to place that inside hand down towards the mat and just allow the head to rest down on towards your bicep. And we're going to lengthen out that top leg, lift and lower right here. And you may find it more comfortable to place the elbow down and use your hand to support your head. Your top arm is just going to come for support and balance onto the top of the barrel. Lengthen nice and long, and we want to keep our leg in a nice straight line. Now we're going to lift the leg about to hip level with the ankle, and we're going to sweep forward and sweep back right here. We're thinking about keeping our leg on a steady plane, so rather than lifting up or drifting down, we want to make sure that we're staying at the same surface as we bring it forward and then reach back behind. We want to keep the rest of the body stable and steady, which is the real challenge here as we're reaching out and back. Good, now tucking those legs in. We're going to lift up and switch over to the other side. So again, top leg lengthens out. We're going to bring the hands up over top of the head and fold down over top of that barrel. And then we'll lift up, peeling away that side body and crunching up and away as we're peeling off of that barrel. Again, you may find that these lifts are a little small at first, and then they begin to grow a little bit more with time, that you can peel your body up and away a little bit higher as you go. Now we're going to lower down, and we'll work on just those leg lifts. Keep the leg parallel with the knee and the toes facing forward. In other words, you don't open up the hip and turn the knee up towards the sky. It's still facing forward as we lift and lower here, working through the hips and glutes. Some people feel comfortable with their arm extended out straight onto the mat, and others prefer to have the hand up for support, which I generally do. Now we're sweeping the leg forward and back. And you may find that on one side you have a greater reach to extend and reach back than on the other. And that's a pretty normal thing, and we're just going to try to balance that out. We're concentrating on keeping the leg at an even level so it's not lifting up or dropping down. We're just simply holding it level, sweeping forward and back. Go ahead and lower down that foot and come up off the barrel. We're going to turn now facing the barrel. We'll bring our knees onto the step and take our arms down just in front of the barrel. We're going to extend the left leg, and we're going to go into arabesque lifts right here. Now you'll see me adjusting a couple of times. You may find that you need to take your kneeling knee in closer to the center line as you go on to find that comfortable space. We're going to lift and lower right here, really focusing on squeezing those glutes at the top. We're lengthening that leg out nice and straight and really pointing through the toe and focusing on drawing a line straight up the wall behind us as we stabilize. We want to feel really even as we press down through both hands over top of the barrel, and we have that 3-point connection between the knee and the two hands. And we're going to go ahead and switch sides here, lengthening out the right, and we'll lift and lower right here. And bringing that other knee in, we'll just take a little reach and stretch back, and we're going to move next into the swan dive. So we'll bring our hips forward, balancing on the barrel, and we're going to dive the body forward. You may need to walk your hands out a bit here, find your balancing place, dive forward, and as you lift up, we're going to practice lifting the arms out and reaching away. This may not be happening for you, and you can simply take the dive forward and then lift up with your fingertips still towards the floor, lifting as high as you can. But if you've got a nice round through the back and you can balance here on the barrel, we'll think about exhaling as we come down and inhaling as we lift up and reach away. This is truly a balancing act here. Good. Go ahead and just lengthen out, and then we'll fold the body down and forward. We'll walk those knees to the ground and then bring the hands up towards the barrel and send the hips back as we reach and lengthen through the arms, taking a small rest break here. Lifting up here, we're gonna come to standing facing away, and we're gonna turn the toes facing out, and we're gonna squat down nice and low, bringing our glutes down to the seat of the spine corrector, and then lifting off. You may find that you don't quite touch down, but you're just aiming for it, and that's just fine. We're thinking about lightly touching down the glutes onto the edge of the seat and lifting back up. So my feet are relatively close to the edge of the spine corrector right here, and I'm coming down so that my glutes are just barely touching the top of that step. I'm also using my arms here for balance. I'm circling them out in front as I come down and then sweeping them back to my body as I lift up. Now I'm going to come seated down to get into position. My toes are still turned out, but I'm going to bring my heels in really close and press them into the edge of the seat. So I'm going to lift up with my heels high here. This can be kind of an awkward position to get into, but I'm going to calm down and think about pressing those hips the whole way forward at the top, but we're lifted into a releve with our heels supported onto the edge of the spine corrector. As we come down, lightly touch the glutes to the step and press back up. And go ahead and step those feet free. We'll walk around now to the other side. We're going to sit down onto the barrel, and we're going to take our feet so that they're parallel, the knees are over top of the ankles, and we're going to lean the body forward and go into our sitting squats over here. So we're just going to squat, hinge at the waist, take the glutes down towards the barrel, press up, and make sure that we take the hips all the way forward. So rather than our toes turned out, they're facing forward and relatively parallel right here. Right here, we're going to turn around and we're going to continue working through the legs. We'll face that barrel and place the left foot in the center of the barrel. And right here, we're going to step off, just tap that right toe onto the barrel or lift the leg up if you'd like, and then step back down. We're thinking about stepping up and lowering down with control. This is really a balancing act with our foot curved over the barrel. And it's similar to exercise that we'll do on the chair, but we don't have the pedal assisting us with our legs, so we're really pushing off that left leg and lowering back down with as much control as we can here. Switching sides, we're going to place the right foot onto the top of the barrel, lift up, and tap back down. You may find that one side is easier for you to stabilize on than the other, as I am through my right here. And I'm really kind of needing to firmly place my left foot onto the barrel rather than just tapping the toe to kind of stabilize at the top and prepare for the descent. And stepping down on that side. We're coming next into push-ups. So we're going to take our hands towards the center of our barrel, walk our legs back so that we're in a nice plank position. And as we come down, the elbows are really going to be close to the body, grazing the rib cage. And we're going to think about a nice straight line of the body from the heels through the crown of the head as we come down and press back up. Strong exhale, pushing those arms out straight and lowering down with control while we're holding on to that neutral spine. Next, we're going to be moving into more of a swan push-up option. So we're going to bring the hips down over the barrel, hands are going to come to the edge of the step, and we're going to lengthen tall through the body and lower down the chin towards the edge of the step, and then press up through the arms until we come into this swan back extension shape right here. Your toes are just barely touching the floor, legs extended straight, and we're just bending through the elbows, lowering the chest down, and using the arms to press the body back up. And that was the last one right here. Lengthen the arms out long and just allow your body to lay over top of the barrel for a moment. We're moving next into the teaser. So we're going to sit on the seat, lengthen the spine over top of the barrel, lengthen out the legs and the arms. And on the exhalation, we're going to lift up into that teaser shape. Inhale, we'll come back down and let our spine curve over top of the barrel. Great to take the teaser here into a different position and really be able to lengthen and extend the body, and then lift the upper and lower portions of the body up to meet one another right here. Now moving into a different variation, we're going to hold the teaser, drop the legs and lift the arms just a little, just a couple of inches, and then coming back to that teaser shape. If it's not working to do this on both sides of your body, try to drop just the legs or lift just the arms, and then see if you can put the two movements together while you hold this teaser shape. Good. Let everything fold back down towards the mat, and then sweep the arms forward as you lift up to a seated position. We're going to walk back around to the barrel of the spine corrector and challenge ourselves with a different variation of the push-up. So we're going to place the hands down, step out into a plank position, and we're going to come down into that push-up and then lift the left arm on the way up, alternating lift the right arm next time. So as we press down, we're floating off one arm at the top and reaching out nice and long, trying to keep stabilized through the shoulders and hips all the while, and really challenging yourself there. If that arm lift isn't working, just do your standard push-up here. Good, now drop down to the knees and come back into a rest pose with the hands up over top of the barrel, and just stretch back here for a moment. Next, we're going to go into a teaser in the opposite direction with our legs over top of the barrel, and we're going to add in a twist. So we'll lift off right here out of our stretch, and we're going to come sitting down here with our legs up over the barrel. We're going to lean the body out and away, lift the arms up, lengthen the legs into that teaser shape. We'll twist, arms going one direction, legs going the opposite direction. Fold down, lift back up, and twist the other way. Come back straight, lower the upper body and the lower body, lift back into that teaser, and twist, alternating sides. Making sure that the arms are going in one direction, legs are going into the other. Come back square in center, and then fold down and lift back up. Fold the legs over top of the barrel and just lengthen out your torso, laying down over top of the legs. We'll take just a couple minutes to focus on controlling our breathing, doing a little bit of back breathing right here as we catch our breath and prepare to move on. Let's end our class now with Mermaid. So we're going to swivel around and be side seated. We're going to go into a Z sit, so our top leg is going to be bent in front and the other leg is bent back behind. We're going to reach up and over the barrel, lift up the body, and reach in the opposite direction. And then slowly and with control, fold over the barrel and lengthen out. That inside arm, that hand can come down for support and control as you reach down and over, and then lift up and reach to the other side. Good, now switching to the opposite side, go ahead and set yourself up. Lengthen the arms out, reach up and over the barrel, lift off, and reach in the opposite direction. There's been a lot of work in this class through our core and through our obliques, where we've really been targeting that side body. And now we're going to reach and lengthen. This is not only stretching, but also working here, and really great for nourishing the spine and good for the hips as well. Thank you so much for joining me on the Spine Corrector today. I'll see you guys next time in the studio.